What's up, guys? It's Dwayne from Mountain Buck. Today we're checking out the Tactacam Reveal Ultra Cellular Trail Camera. This is their new premium trail camera, and just check out the packaging on this thing. This is premium. It looks like an Apple product or something. I've never seen a trail camera with this nice of a packaging, so I'm super pumped to check it out. It's got some great new features like the switchable no glow or low glow for nighttime flashes, depending on your scenario you want to use this in. It has active GPS. Now, this is something I'm sure people have been asking for. So this is actually going to tell you the precise location of your camera, even if the batteries are dead or the camera's turned off. That means you better not steal this thing because someone just might be showing up at your house. It also have live streaming on this thing. Let's check it out. And here is the Reveal Ultra right out of the packaging, and I absolutely love the camo on there, the Tactacam. That thing looks super slick. Over here you have the stowaway foldable antenna that's going to connect to any major cell phone carrier in the area. So this thing's going to jump on whatever is best in the area. Down bottom here you have a port to plug in a solar panel, that belt battery pack. You also have the lithium-ion cartridge you could place in here instead of using batteries. A lot of great options here, multiple solar panels available. You have the thread mounts to mount it that way if you so choose. You also have thread mounts on the back and, of course, a place for the strap if you're going to mount it that way. Let's open this guy up. So we have a 2-inch LCD screen on here. You also have your menu, your power button, and then your buttons over here to mess around and change the settings. You have the eject button right here, which we'll get to in a second. But over here on the side, if you could see, you have a slot for a standard size SD card. Now this thing does have 16 gigs of internal memory, so that's really nice. You could store the photos right on the camera itself. But I always like to have a backup, so having an SD card in here, a nice 32 gig SD card would be great. You also have a USB-C port right here. Now let's open this guy up. Of course, you also have the QR code on the door to scan this and activate it in your Reveal app. So this camera is going to take 12 AA batteries, or you could also use that lithium cartridge they sell, or a number of other accessories like that battery belt or solar panels, as I mentioned. You also get in the box a quick start guide, and they have some other information in here, like some of those accessories I was talking about, some other cool stuff to check out. And you also get a strap for the tree. And we're just going to slide this battery cartridge right inside here, and I'm going to activate this on the app and check those settings. First, set up a plan for your camera. Click on the Add Camera button, select your plan, scan the QR code on the door. Make sure your batteries are installed and the SD card is in. Name your camera and add your zip code for weather data. Activating your camera will take up to a minute. You'll have to add live view if you'd like to add that feature. Set up active GPS if you'd like. I always go with photo plus video, and the Reveals now offer 30-second video clips, which is really nice. Image size, we're going up to 4K, and the video resolution maxes out at 1080p. Here are your multi-shot options and your multi-shot interval. Night mode options, I go with minimum blur here. Select your battery type. Choose high or low flash. Set up a delay here. You can also set up a work timer for the camera to function during a specific time. I usually keep the settings check on hybrid. Motion sensitivity will leave at 9. You can set a test photo to make sure your camera is working properly. Here's where you can select between low glow or no glow at all for those nighttime shots. It just depends on what type of application you're using this in, and if you want to completely hide those infrared lights. I always format my SD card when starting with a new camera. All right, our Reveal Ultra is all set and ready to go. Let's get this thing outside and run some tests. All right, so our Reveal Ultra is all set on the tree and looking great. I absolutely love that camo. Really nice for concealment, plus it just looks super cool. The Ultra is easy to set up with that 2-inch LCD screen on there and that live preview showing you exactly where your shot placement is going to be. Now, I've been using this really great tool called the Cam Right to make sure I get the perfect trail camera set up every time. So we have two nice little features on here. First one is that compass, and that's going to make sure you are aiming up your trail camera at the perfect spot to avoid the false triggers from the sun glare and to avoid the sun just blowing out your photos. We also have this level on here, and that's going to make sure your camera is perfectly aligned, and that's really important for the PIR sensor. If that PIR sensor is off even just slightly, you might not activate it and get photos of the subjects out at either the left or the right of the frame. And we all know deer don't go exactly where you want them, so there's no guarantee they're gonna go to the middle of that shot so you can get a photo or video. So guys, check out the Cam Right here. Nice little tool to make sure you get the perfect trail camera setup every time. Right now, you're gonna get 20% off a Cam Right. Just use code MOUNTAIN. I'll put that in the description below. Code MOUNTAIN gets you 20% off a Cam Right. All right, so the first test I'm going to do out here today is the image clarity and image quality test. Now, the Reveal Ultra shoots 4K photos and 1080p videos. And how I do this test is I have an eye chart, very similar to the one you use in your optometrist office to test your vision. I'm going to stand about 15 feet in front of the camera and see how sharp and clear these images are. Next up is the trigger speed test. Now, the Reveal Ultra has a sub 0.5 second trigger, so under half a second, and you're gonna get that shot. Now, how I do this test is I have a cone set up 10 yards back there behind me. I'm just gonna run right by and see how quickly this camera is gonna capture me. Next up is the detection range test. Now, this camera has a 96-foot detection range at night using the low glow setting. It has an 80-foot detection range when using the no glow setting. We're testing this out in daytime, so I want to see how far out this camera is going to capture me. How I do this test is I have 4 cones set up back there behind me. First one's at 10 yards, then 20, 25, and 30 yards out. I'm going to walk by each one at a nice leisurely pace to see how far out this camera is going to capture me. Now, it might be a little difficult to see the cones back there, but you can see from this drone footage just how far out those cones are. Let's see how this camera performs. All right, so if you guys could do me a quick favor and hook me up and hit subscribe, I would really appreciate it. I'm out here on a hot July morning running around trying to bring you interesting and informative content on hunting product reviews. If you could hit that subscribe button, I would really appreciate it. Now let's check out that footage and see how the Reveal Ultra performed. For the image clarity test, here's the image you get right from the app, and you can see down to line 7 until it gets real blurry. Here's the HD version request of the same image, and you can see pretty clearly down to line 10 and even some of line 11 there. For the video clarity, I requested the HD video, and you can see pretty clearly down to line 8 or so and maybe a little bit of line 9. The trigger speed test shows the sub 0.5 second trigger caught me just after mid-frame. For the detection range, this camera caught me at 10, 20, and 25 yards, but did not catch me at that 30-yard marker. Here's an example of the daytime image quality you get right from the app. Here's the same image, but in the HD version you can request. I've blown both images up and put them side by side so you can see the difference in quality. You can see the turkey feathers, the eyes, and the grass much more clearly on the HD side. Here's a low glow nighttime image you get right from the app. Here's the HD version of the same image. And again, here's a comparison where I've enlarged both images so you can see the difference. Here's the daytime video quality. Here's the no glow nighttime video quality. Here are the infrared lights you're going to see in the low glow mode. And here are the infrared lights you'll see in the no glow mode, and you could barely see those lights even when you are super close to the camera. This will allow you to go pretty much undetected at night. Over the course of my test period, the Reveal Ultra took 109 photos and 23 30-second videos, and the battery is at 70%. Now, the battery life did drop because I used the active GPS. Okay, so that brings us to the last and final test of the Reveal Ultra. Toward the end of my test period, I turned on the active GPS feature. And that's going to use up to 10% of your battery to charge the backup battery. I then turned the camera off and took out the batteries and had my wife drive the camera 10-15 minutes away and hide it in the woods. So this is how the active GPS will work. It will create a path with this green line and display this GPS symbol for each area it pings from. It will do this every few hours or so, up to 72 hours. All right, so I checked my camera's location from that active GPS right in the Tactacam Reveal app, and I see where my wife has taken this thing. So she took it out to this spot where we take the dogs hiking. Nice little spot out here, a lot of good trails, really nice big open area to explore. And I could see based on my Reveal app right here, check this out. You can see the location of my camera right there. It's just off the trail up ahead. I'm the little blue dot there facing, that direction. You can see it turn. So that's me, and I'm the blue dot heading toward my camera's location. Let's see if I could track this thing down. I have to get inside the woods. Here. Kind of nice you didn't go too far out of the way. I'm not having to hike through all types of stuff here. So I'm getting close here. I'm gonna zoom in on my Reveal app, and I can see that I am pretty close here to where that camera location is. So I'm just gonna keep on working my way around here till I see something pop out. Zoom in. All right, nice thing about that blue dot for your indicating where you are on the map here is it points in the direction that you're aiming the phone at. So it's right. Got to be right in here somewhere. I'm guessing behind a tree or one of these rocks. So I should note here that the active GPS tracker here does not give you the exact coordinates of your trail camera. It does give you that line indicating, the way it's traveled until it's reached its destination where the camera checked in and pinged again. So it is right around here somewhere. There's some trees around. I don't know. It's got to be. Oh, there it is. There it is right down there. All right, so nice little spot. Thank you to my wife for helping me out. You're awesome as always. I appreciate it. So not a bad little spot here right off the trail. And if I didn't have this little feature, if I didn't have this little feature here, I never would have found it. So of course the GPS does move you around a little bit once it calibrates, but it's right in that ballpark. And if this is at someone's house or in their truck or just set up on a tree somewhere, you would definitely be able to find it. So there we go. Got my new Reveal Ultra. We're good to go. And that is such a great feature that I know a lot of hunters have been asking for. Just the ability to be able to track your camera in case it happens to go missing or if you've forgotten where you placed it. So there it is, guys. The Tactacam Reveal Ultra takes some really good quality photos and videos. You could pop in live and check out your hunting spot. It also has the ability to choose between no glow or low glow for those light time shots. And of course, that really great active GPS feature. You do not want to steal this trail camera. As always, the links as we talk about are in the description below. Guys, do me a favor, hook me up and hit subscribe. Thank you guys so much for hanging out, and we'll see you on the next one.